Welcome. I'm Terry McGill. I live in Portland, and I always say Oregon, and people say, why? Did you know there are 14 Portlands in the United States? It's just, when I found that out, it was amazing to me. So um, I'm Terry McGill, Portland, Oregon, and this is a show, Who's Your Neighbor? This started about 3 months after COVID hit us. And I began noticing on Facebook the different stories, and then they got stronger and more often and more intense. We are a social animal, and we couldn't be social. Actually, there were some social, more than an event. Let me just be straight out with it. There are some people who live with highly toxic individuals, and they could manage as long as one or both of them went off to work during the day. But after COVID, a lot of times they were home too much and things intensified. And so that was a piece of it. That's the part that I just still shudder from some of the stories that I've read. But there's more too. There are people in the Portland, Oregon neighborhood and in your neighborhood, wherever in the world you are, and you don't know them, and they make a big difference in people's lives every day. I want to introduce you to two absolutely wonderful people. I'm trying to think of the right words, the adjectives to describe them, but you'll meet them. They have special gifts, each of them. They're what's called Dow Healing Hands practitioners. Dow meaning source, and Healing Hands is an energetic transmission that can be received. There's about 170 people around the world who have the ability to transmit into your hand the ability to heal people. And it's stunning. So I want to share, I'll ask our producer if she will bring our two Dow Healing Hands practitioners on. There you are. So in the middle of my screen is Joan Luke, and over on, it's on my right-hand side, is Michaela Lopez. Joan is from California, and Michaela is from right here in the Portland metropolitan area, and they are both Dow Healing Hands practitioners. So Joan, since you're right in the middle, would you share a couple of stories, examples from your life as a Dow Healing Hands practitioner?
Oh,
What's it like?
this is just fabulous. Thank you so much, Terry. Um, well, it's a transmission is incredibly special and so unique. I've never heard of it before until I received them. And so this is really for self-care, but it can be more than that because you can actually use the healing blessings you can offer to other people. And I really like to use it for my family members. Um, I'm in the healthcare industry, and I could also use this for my patients too. But I think sometimes you need a tool that you can use outside the office, especially for your family. So when I first received this transmission, I used it on myself, and there was one situation where I had a long drive on. It was about 3 hours drive on the freeway, and about 1 hour into the drive, my right knee started to ache and almost like it was becoming very uncomfortable, like to the point where I felt like I had to pull off the road and exit. But I had to be at this place by a certain time. So I was thinking, oh no, what should I do? And I was thinking I could try this blessing for myself, and I did that while I was driving. Maybe I think it was less than 5 minutes. I started, my knee just relaxed and it felt normal. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fast. Because at that point I wasn't sure what to do, but all sorts of thoughts were going in my head. And so I did it. And then it was feeling so good. And I just continued to drive and I was able to get to my destination on time.
So
This is
5 minutes?
Less than 5 minutes, I think.
And you were feeling like, you're going to have to pull off and take
Yes,
care of yourself.
yes.
Wow.
Because I had history of troublesome, joints in my knees. And I remember using brace occasionally, especially when the weather was cold. And so when that happens, it's really hard to move your knees. And on the freeway, especially with a lot of congestion, lots of traffic, you have to, brake often. So that's why I was concerned that I had to, exit the freeway and rest a little bit, but I didn't have to. Wow. So perfect example, right?
That's great.
Yeah, perfect example.
Less than 5 minutes. That's
less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Less than 5 minutes. And, it's not the first time where it was just a few minutes or so. Sometimes you might have to spend a little more time, but I noticed in general, it's pretty quick. And if you need to repeat the healing blessing, you can do so maybe the day after or maybe later in the day, whatever the case may be, whatever you can do. But it's very flexible. And that's the most amazing thing about this tool is that you can use it in ways that fit your life, whatever you need to do. So another situation involved my husband. So he loves to golf. And he happened to pick this really windy, cold, chilly, misty day. And he had a great time golfing, but at the end of the day, you could tell that he caught a cold. And it was one of those, it was really changing, really quickly. So he got the chills, he was sneezing, he felt really bad. I think starting to feel a little feverish. So, oftentimes something like this can turn into something a little more serious because he also has a history of bronchitis and asthma. Mm-hmm. So, and we were on vacation. So we're away from home and he got back to the hotel room. I was thinking, oh no, what do we do? So I quickly brewed him some tea and I said, I'm going to give you a blessing. And it wasn't very long. And maybe less than 30 minutes, he felt normal. His whole body started to feel warm and relaxed and comfortable. So it was, again, I would say almost instant, right?
Half an hour, given the level of those symptoms.
Exactly. So he was surprised. I really wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting it because, as we do these healing blessings, we don't really become too attached to the outcome, but because we know something's happening, but we're not sure exactly what and how long it will take. So it was a very, very happy night for him because the next day he was able to get up and fully energized. I think he went back golfing the next day. Isn't that amazing?
That's wonderful. Wow.
Yeah. No medication, nothing. Just a little hot tea, because that's always good for the body too, right? Warm it up.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Michaela, you're also a Dow Healing Hands practitioner.
I am, yes.
What's been your experiences with this tool?
I love my Dow Hands. About 3 years ago, it was 3 years ago in February, actually, on the 18th, when I received my Dow Healing Hands transmission. I was new to the modality, new to healing. I always, we did growing up with my grandmother. She taught us, our medicine, plant medicine. I grew up with that, but I didn't really grow up with, with these other healing modalities. We use plants a lot. And so I started using that on myself. But one story that I do want to share is I am a doula. I work with babies. I support mothers physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I had this one mother. Um, I met with her twice before the whole birth, and she had a birth plan. We talked about what kind of medical interventions do you want, or do you want to have epidural? Do you, she gave me her whole plan, and she said, I absolutely don't want any medical intervention, no medication, nothing. I want it to be as natural as possible. So um, the day came. It was around 3 in the morning. We I went to the hospital. She went to the hospital. The pain, the contractions became intense. So I was there supporting her, giving her love, touching her body, massaging her. The labor got more intense. So we went into the showers, gave her, bathed her in water. And then we also, we have these birth balls where she used between her legs to soothe the pain, to help her, alleviate some of that pain, the contractions. But it got intense. The more intense it got, the more I can't do this anymore. So her husband was there. I was also coaching the husband on how to be a doula. So she had two doulas, but it kept going long. Her midwife came in and checked her cervix and see how far along is she, the ripening from a scale of 1 to 10, and she was barely at 2, but the labor was so intense. And then we waited another couple of hours. It's been about 8 hours in the hospital now, and they checked her again, and her cervix went to about 2 to 3. The opening of the cervix, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she just wanted to give up. Like, okay, how's that epidural? What was my birth plan? And we kept going back to the birth plan, and we said, all right, you know what? Let me offer you a Dow Healing Hands, because I had offered her a Dow Healing Hands during the for nausea. She would get nauseous with it. And I said, you know what? Here, would you want me to offer you a Dow Healing Hands for for the ease of this labor? Hopefully, we can have some changes. And she said, yes, please, yes, please. So I offer her a Dow Healing Hands blessing. It wasn't that long either. It was about 3 to 5 minutes. It was 3 to 5 minutes. And then she said to me, okay, I think the baby's coming, and the baby's coming. She was barely at 2. The cervix was opening at 2. And then she said, the baby's coming. I feel this pressure. She felt this pressure coming. And next thing you know, baby arrived. It was just so fast after giving her Dow Healing Hands. And that was just, wow. I thought we were going to be in the hospital for for many, many hours. But that was so fast. And that was my Dow Hands. I felt my Dow Hands really played a big role in having, bringing this beautiful angel on earth. So that's one story that I wanted to share too.
That is just incredible. So she was at a 2 centimeters,
Centimeters, yes.
and you got to be much more than that to have a baby come out, right?
Oh yeah. You have to be at 10, at least 10, so that way you were able to push that baby. And just with
Wow.
Dow Healing Hands, it just happened so fast, and baby was here, healthy baby girl.
Wow. And you've got another story.
I do, and this is with my daughter. I have a daughter who's 10 now. She just turned 10 not too long ago. And this girl, I love her. She bumps herself. She falls on the ground. She, twists. She's very active. She has a very active imagination. Very active. She hits herself, falls, twists her ankles, and she knows to come to me. Mama doesn't go to Papa. She goes to Mama. Said, Mama, I twisted my ankle, or I scraped my knees. The cat scratched me. All of these, and she knows the power of Tao Healing Hands. And I tell her, all right, Sam, let's sit down. Let us, go in and feel the pain and connect with this pain, connect with your body. And I offer her Tao Healing Hands blessings. And not, again, it doesn't take that long. It takes about, 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. So she could just feel it. And then she tells me, Mama, I don't see anything, but I feel it. I feel a warmth. I feel this this vibration on my ankle or my knees or wherever she hurts herself, but she feels it. She's very sensitive to energy, and she's like, "Mama, can you please do your thing again? I really need it." So she knows to come to me for Dow Healing Hands, and it's a very powerful, amazing tool. So grateful for my Dow Healing Hands. Thank you,
Wow.
Terry.
Thank you so much. Wow. Um, so a golfing husband who goes out when wise people would not be golfing all day, and he's healed in what, half an hour?
Pretty
And a woman who's, uh, I can remember when my wife was, I forget how many hours it was, 16 hours, something like that, um, incredible pain. And no Dow Healing Hands around. This was like 28 years ago. Um, I don't think Dow Healing Hands was around then. Um, it would have been so beneficial. And she went from a 2 to at least a 10 in what, how long?
It was 30 minutes. I would say 30 minutes. We did not wait that long.
That
It was
is just, to me, that's just like, you gotta be kidding. My wife had to spend 16 hours. Wow. Wow. Thank you both so much for sharing this. This is wonderful. So I have invited a young woman that I was introduced to not even a week ago, I think. And I just thought earlier this evening, it's like, why don't I call her? Because I've sent her a text, but it was days ago. And so she said, "Oh, I'd love to." And I went, "Oh, wonderful." So we have someone, um, and I'll ask our producer to bring Joy on. And there she is. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Terry. Hi,
So,
guys.
have you been, were you able to hear when you were in the waiting room?
Yes. Yes, I heard everything. Those are some amazing stories.
You're as amazed as I am, huh?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah. That
you,
pregnancy thing, that is really special. 30 minutes after 8 hours.
that's,
Wow.
yeah, I'm going, wow.
Yeah. There's
So
something to it.
you have a pain that you mentioned, a knuckle.
Yes.
Would you tell us more about that? Go into the details.
Yeah. So a weird thing has been going on with my right hand. It's the middle knuckle. It's been happening for at least a year now or longer. My mother passed away in 2020. So I'm almost up on 2 years on that, and she took her own life, and it was just
Hmm.
extremely detrimental to me.
I'm
My
so sorry to
physical
hear that.
health started failing, obviously my mental, spiritual, emotional, like I just became a really big mess. There was lots of mental health issues growing up with her, and it was just overwhelming. And I didn't really know how to handle it because in Western medicine, like I'm super into psychology. I have a degree in the field because I'm just obsessed. And, but I've been to lots of different types of counselors throughout my life to deal with past traumas. And it's never resulted in any positive change. It's, in fact, made it worse because they just kind of look at you like, I don't know how to help you. You want a pill? Um, and so, anyways, I started having these weird pains in my right hand, and I looked into like the Eastern Chinese uh, medicine, like the reasoning behind with the meridians and everything, because I was like, there's got to be something here, and I found out it's the pericardium, which is the fluid sac around your heart or whatever. And so I think I just have some type of blockages going on with my heart, and it's like manifested into my hand because it just doesn't have a way to escape. It's just kind of stuck in my field, my little quantum field. And
So,
so,
so
yeah, it's been a battle.
this is the middle knuckle of your right hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being, there's something going on, but not much, and 10 being, knock me out. um,
Yeah.
what's the scale? What's the pain in your hand? What's your sense of where that would be on a number?
Um, it's definitely uncomfortable, and I work with a mouse at my computer all day, so it's definitely like a 4 or 5, maybe 6 range.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything past the 5 is noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joan, um, with your background and training, does the middle knuckle and the pericardium have a connection
Yes,
from
definitely.
your
Yes.
awareness?
Yes. The moment she said that, I put all, just all the story just comes together, and it has to do with the emotion. It's blocked, and it's in the heart because your heart feels every emotion there is. When you lose your mother, and can you imagine losing just your mother, but in this way? I mean, it
I felt it
causes,
immediately.
yeah, exactly. Me too. So
Yeah.
it just, yeah, it's very clear that there is, the heart the pericardium protects the heart. That's basically, it's a wrap over the heart. So it's like the first defense, just to help you, so it doesn't go deeper. So in that sense, it's good because it's still like more superficial level before it gets deeper into the heart. Yeah. So this is a good
So
time.
is this the kind of issue? And pardon me if that's too insensitive a word, because
Hmm.
I don't. It doesn't feel right. But um, with Joy's condition, looking at the knuckle itself and whatever else it might be, what reflected by or connected with, quantum entangled with, is this something that Dow Hands Blessings could address?
Most certainly. Most certainly. It really, the Dow Hands is for really anything in life. And I think first thing first is just open your mind to the possibilities and try the blessing, because you never know. And I think once that happens, you allow to receive the healing blessing. And it could be pretty dramatic, or it could take some time. It doesn't really matter, because you are receiving, you're receiving this healing, and it's going at a much deeper level where we need it for trauma like this. And
Thank
it's,
you, Michaela. Um, what's your perspective or thoughts?
Yeah. Dow Hands works for almost anything, even trauma. I have a dear friend of mine who healed a very special case of trauma. She's a midwife, and she healed this huge trauma that she was carrying for 15 years or more, even more. Not just until recently she was able to go in and connect with that trauma and applying, the science, the wisdom, and Tao Healing Hands to help heal that trauma that that blocked her for many years. A fear, it was fear. And Tao Healing Hands, they're powerful, they're magical, and open heart, open mind. Try it.
So I've heard that the recipient has to agree to receive a Dow Healing Hands blessing. Is that correct?
yes, yes.
Yes.
So, Joy, would you be willing to receive blessings, Dow Healing Hands blessings, for your knuckle and whatever else might be involved or affected?
I feel exceptionally honored. Yes, absolutely. Please.
Wow. Well, would one of the two of you then lead whatever it is that you do?
Yes, I'd be honored to do that.
Thank
So
you.
it's so I'll just say certain words out loud, but it will mostly be a silent blessing, and we'll just give it for a few minutes. So we have get into a special, like a prayer position with our hands, and we say the invocation, which is, "Dear my Tao Healing Hands, I love you, I honor you, I appreciate you. Would you please offer a healing blessing to Joy that is most appropriate for her at this time? And the Dow Healing Hands has its intelligence, so we don't have to specify. So we already know what's happening. And then we can say, Dow Healing Hands, blessings begin. And for a few minutes, we'll just be silent. And Joy, you just relax and you receive the blessing. So you can close your eyes, and if you can, feel maybe the energy might be coming to you. You can feel it. Or whatever happens to you, just be open to receiving in the way that you can at this time. So I'll be quiet for the next 2 minutes, and we'll let the Tao Healing Hands do its work.
So that's been about 3 minutes now.
Okay, so blessing ends. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. And our Tao Healing Hands, please rest. And as you could see, we're doing this remotely. Joy is in Portland. I'm down here in Southern California. So these are special energy transmission that we receive that we can use across long distances. So you don't have to be in the same room. We don't have to touch anyone. So as you could see, it's very easy. And it seems like it's almost nothing, like we're not really doing anything. But the results, speak for themselves. Yes.
It was one of the things that I heard about Dow Hands is that it's important to, what was it? It's important to know that the one with the Dow hands isn't doing the healing. And
Exactly.
how do you
Yes.
wrap your mind around that? But you are. but you're not, huh?
No, it's not me. It's not mine. It's my hands, of course. But I am the conduit. I am the channel for the healing that comes through, the energy that comes through. And so that's why it makes it so unique, because, I can't say I'm healing you. I say it's the Dow hands through me that's giving you the healing blessings. So that's what makes it so special. I mean, I can't really explain it in so many words because it's just so profound. That's how I felt when I first received this download.
Can't be physically measured, I guess.
No, but I could feel it myself when it comes through my hands too. And sometimes I might have some feelings about the blessing for the other person. And of course, we always check in with the person at the end.
With Joy. Joy,
Yeah.
what was your experience? What would you
Oh, I want to test out my hand here. And, I felt like at the very end, when you came back on and said that, and at the end of the blessing, I felt like this little surge of energy because I'm very sensitive. I can feel like my own energy at times, not all the time, but when it's important, I guess. And I felt it right in my knuckle, and my knuckle feels great. So
it was like a 4, 5, or 6 before. If you could put a number to it now, again, same scale, 1 being low, 10 being ouch. What's the number now?
I'd say like 0.5.
Point?
So, yeah.
Like not
barely
even
noticeable. It was that little electric bolt that shot into my knuckle. It was the energy. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
I
that
feel
is
so
wonderful.
blessed. Joan and Michaela, right? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I am so pleased.
3 minutes. 3 minutes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. That's astounding. Think of how many ways this can be applied. And it's perfect for a pandemic. We're all doing everything by Zoom anyway.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly. You could just do it by phone. You don't have to see the person face to face.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And in fact, can't you send a blessing to someone without even talking to them?
That's right, Terry.
Yeah, what are your guys' phone numbers? I need to write this down.
So,
wow.
What I'd like to do now is offer, we've got 6 or 7 people who've been online at this time, and this will be on Facebook Live. Well, it is right now, but it'll also be recorded. So you can go back and look at it again and bring yourself back into this experience, Joy. And I've read and heard people say that re-experiencing something visually or even just with one's imagination, it can make a big difference. And one of our people online just said, "Happy for you, Joy. Thank you for the transformation with Dow Hands."
Thank you. That's so nice. I'm sending love back.
Well, I am just, of course, I'm not, I did experience something. I'm not really sure what it was because I'm trying to keep my, awareness for, being the host. Keep your head on, guy. But Joy, I am so happy for you. One of the things that I have read about and heard about is that sometimes there's absolutely nothing perceptible in a person's awareness. With you, though, it went from a 4, 5, or 6 to a 0.5. That's just like, wow. So there is the possibility that the pain can come back. Trying to remember, I think it was called a different level of something else coming up that'll want clearing. So I'll stay connected with you, and I can refer you to others. Um, and we've already spoken about something else that you have scheduled. So um, you know, this is not just a one and done. Um, so you'll continue to be supported. Um,
I'm very much looking forward to this journey of healing. I'm
And
feeling
I
so
am so
blessed.
grateful and Joy. Let's both you and I thank Joan and Michaela. Like, thank you so much. This is
Yes.
this is just so amazing. And our producer has a link. So thank you all. And I'll ask our producer to take you into the back room now. And for those of that are watching now, and those of who are watching later, and Michelle, if you could take Joan and Michaela into the back room also. Yeah, thank you. So this is this Who's Your Neighbor show. Um, we're on every Tuesday night at 7:30 Pacific time. I don't know where you are in the world, but we're in Portland, Oregon, or I am. And Who's Your Neighbor is a show to share with you. And sometimes we'll bring someone on as for a demonstration like you've seen. Um, if you don't have Dow Healing Hands, I'm going to ask our producer to put a link over in the chat room, and that will be there so you can go back to Facebook Live. There we go. You can see it there. So this explains there's three different levels of Dow Healing Hands. Level 1 is self-healing, where in this case, Joy could receive that first level of the transmission and be able to heal herself. And then the second level allows the recipient to offer these Dow Hands Blessings, not only to themselves, but to other people also. And then level 3, well, when you open up the link, you'll be able to read all about it. It's really amazing what all you can do with these Dow Healing Hands. Or rather, I got to remember it's not us doing it. What Source does through the recipient. Um, so I want to thank all of you. First, I want to thank our guest, our demonstration person, Joy, and also our two Dow Healing Hands practitioners, Joan and Michaela. I'm so grateful to all three of them. Um, I'm very happy for Joy. And for any of you that might be interested in this or know of somebody that might be interested, we're going to offer most of these Tuesday nights. I introduce people to you that are in the Portland metro area that are doing wonderful things. They may have started a program 10 years ago, and they distribute books like a traveling library on a bicycle, believe it or not. It's got a special box on it that holds a lot of books. And they go around to homeless areas, and they build up a clientele over time. People just go, oh, the bike book box of the bike with books is coming again. So that was one. Another is a lady who talks with plants and has written books and healed herself to begin with. And then friends told her to write a book. So I'm usually interviewing, or have been, people who are making a stunning difference around the Portland metro area, or up in Washington. And they're relatively unknown. But I'm going to start mixing it up. And so if you know someone who would like to receive Dow Healing Hands, then you can send an email. And my email is, if you can put it into the chat room, Michelle, TERRY dot MCGILL at DRSHA.com. So if you don't have Tao Healing Hands, but you certainly have pain, then you can send me an email and we'll set something up so that you can receive some of these Dow Healing Hands transmissions, blessings, whatever we want to call them. And if you would like to become a Dow Healing Hands practitioner, then send an email and I'll pass on your interest. I'll give you a couple of, I'll ask to have them given a couple of gifts too, where you can come on a Thursday evening and experience as a gift, 2 different Thursdays, what's called a liquid light massage. In fact, I've experienced it, and the leader, the one who's leading the group, says, okay, you can even lay down and go to sleep. I'm going, this is a webcast. But yeah, lay down and go to sleep for an hour and receive these high-level blessings, transmissions that as you watched from a level 4, 5, or 6 to a 0.5, and could you remember seeing the joy? Well, yeah, in Joy's face. So thank you for being with us tonight. And until next Tuesday night, I'm Terry McGill, and this is Who's Your Neighbor?